Alright, long time no wash. Welcome back to Powerwash. Recently finished up Dragon Quest Builders 2 and I just want to do something a bit more casual. I'm already in the middle of this job because I decided to stop after I did the ceilings because it's a big job. Ta-da! Also did, those parts of the walls except for this one because it's the same as these. Because I did that and that's when I stopped, I think, because I did that and that first after doing the ceilings. And I stopped doing that one. Alright. I'm not too sure how good the conversation's going to be tonight. But okay, why not? Haven't recorded one of these in a while. Might as well get another one on the board so that I don't completely ignore it. In the same vein, I'll probably try and do a Terraria episode next, just to get back into that one. I will see if I feel like actually continuing that or not, because I might have, like I was talking about, have just decided to not care about Terraria again. Which is unfortunate, but I just haven't really been in the mood after Dragon Quest Builders, because it's my preferred building game. Even though the building is a lot more limited in that than it is in something like Terraria or Minecraft. Ding. All the dings. I was not paying attention to my upper left, but I did not get everything. This window. There we go. So yeah. It's also a lot easier for me to record these now that the Christmas rush is over and I no longer just need to unwind. Like, work's still stressful, but work's always going to be stressful when I'm one of the only senior members there. Like, this is supposed to be stock take month, and we're already halfway through it, and I'm the only one that's done any of the stock take in the store. Oh, except for today where they started to do the fragrance. Which isn't even arguably the biggest job. But still, it took them 2 weeks to even start it. Speaking of work though, I was talking to my mate who works at the store next door. And he asked me the very simple question of, what do you want? Like, out of life in general, not like a specific, what was I looking for then? And I kind of just froze. I'm like, shit, I don't know, man. I can't say what I really want to say, because then you'll give me the pitying look of, oh, that's rough, buddy. I think what I really want is to just be able to be myself. Like, I know that sounds cheesy and pick me, so I didn't, another reason why I didn't want to say it out loud to him, but it's true. Because I don't really know who I am, for the most part. I've been masking for so goddamn long that I still really don't know who or what I am. And part of that is terrifying. Because what if I don't like who I am? What if I go through all this effort to try and find the real me, and you find out I hate the real me? And the other part that's terrifying is that I don't even know where to begin. Like, I know the basic stuff, like what I like to do. I like to read. I like to casually play games. And I like to watch certain types of content. Mostly improv. Not even mostly improv, like only specific improv comedy. Which so far has been Dropout and Smosh. And before you say, well, with all that scripted, I pretty much only watch the improv parts of it, like Game Changer and Make Some Noise, as far as Dropout is concerned. And I only really watch the Try Not to Laughs. Not even all the time, like very rarely anymore. A lot of the Shane-centric videos, like the Shane guesses, and when they play the guessing game, or the logo guessing game, or the brand, or whatever guessing game Spencer digs up. Which is, fine. But I also struggle to watch any new thing. Like movies, TV shows, other content. Like I've recently, speaking of the Dropout one, I've only recently started forcing myself to watch all the other contestants that aren't my comfort people. Which is Jacob Wysocki, Brandon Lee Mulligan, Vic Michaelis, Zach Oyama to a lesser extent. I have kind of really liked how the dynamic between Lisa Gilderoy and Sam, though. Like, you'd always tell when people really love each other because they just tear each other to shreds. Or in Sam's case, lets Lisa tear him to shreds because he's the host and can't really do that. Off the top of my head, those are the only ones I really consistently used to watch. Game Changer was different because Game Changer was more of a game show than Make Some Noise, so I was able to suspend that need for comfort. Because I kind of treat it like I treat Taskmaster, and I rarely know who's on Taskmaster until I watch it. The shows like Taskmaster and Would I Lie to You are how I found some of my favourite English comedians, like James Acaster and Bob Mortimer. But I digress. Like, I'm trying to break that habit by having other people come with me and do things like that. Like, the Markiplier movie's coming out in a couple of weeks, so I'm trying to get my friends together to do that. 2 of them said yes, which is good. Just gotta hope by the time the other 2 get back to me, we still have the ability to get tickets. So I kind of had a feeling they were gonna sell as quickly as they did, and I was right. It is Markiplier we're talking about. His fan base is very rabid, and their desire to champion that man. But it is what it is. What else do I need to do? Those sides and then that side. with that same question, I also kind of came to terms with myself that I'm probably never going to be able to write something that I'm ever happy with, fiction-wise. Because I'd like the motivation to see it through. Because I am a little bit of a perfectionist when it comes to it. Like in the one I'd most recently started doing, I rewrote the prologue like 3 different times. And I'm still not really happy with where it's at. I think it's too short. But every time I do that, it kind of kills my desire to keep going. And I can't help but do that. Like, I can't stop myself. I just keep writing on. Because I overthink it. Yeah, I'm my own worst enemy. I know this, I've always known this. Just knowing that isn't going to change anything. And again, I don't know if I can change because I don't know who exactly I am. That could just be me. Ooh, I just took a quick look at what's the next job in this. That's going to be fun. Because part of my inability to start new things is also my inability to play new games. Like, unless I'm really, like, excited for something, I struggle with sticking with a new game. Like, I told you guys how I was playing Sticks. I've kind of stopped that because, well, I was being too much of a perfectionist in those games. It doesn't help that they also didn't turn out to be exactly what I was looking for in a stealth game. I want more stealing. But I also don't want just stealing. Like, Thief is still more too much on the stealing side than it is the stealth combat side. Like, I need something closer to Dishonored. That isn't, Dishonored, because I've already recently played through those again. And I got Platinum for both of them, I believe. Not Death of the Outsider, though. I don't really have any other desire to play that one for some reason. And it's not because he plays Billy. I think that would be kind of cool. Since I don't really care for the alternate timeline stuff, I guess. But speaking of games, I'm also struggling with what I want to play next. Like, Days Gone is still an option for me to go back and replay. And if I do, it's not going to be recorded. Well, I say that, but I am leaning towards maybe recording. Because it won't be a platinum hunt, I've already got the platinum in it. But I might just try and do a permadeath run. And do like a slow playthrough. But instead of trying to rush through everything, I just take my time. I do want to show that game off. I do think it deserves a lot more love than it currently gets. Like, it got shit on to high heavens when it first came out. Like, critics didn't like it, players didn't like it. I'm like, why? It's everything I kind of ever wanted in a zombie game. I just wish there was more of it. And the fact that it got such shitty reviews meant that the sequel was killed before it could even really start. And the developer said as much. Developer or game creator, one of the two. Because people are like, this game's great, we're getting a sequel? When it went on sale a year or so down the line, he's like, no. You guys should have all turned up when it first came out. It's not profitable now, and even if I wanted to, Sony is not going to pick it up. So yeah, I'll have to maybe, well, not maybe, I'll have to just live with the fact that the best I'll get is a possible remaster. Which it just got a remaster, like I'm talking like probably a remake remaster. Like a decade down the line. Or maybe a sequel that far down the line as well. You never know, zombies could have another resurgence in popular culture. It's happened a couple of times already, I'm sure it can happen again. I had a dentist appointment a couple of weeks ago as well, and my teeth weren't as bad as I thought they were going to be. Because they did that gum check thing where they measure the distance into your gums. They can shove that little measuring tool. And I only had like 4 or 5 fours, which is when it starts to get a little bit keep an eye on it territory. Like, not quite worrying, because they were the wisdom teeth, and like, you know, it's semi-normal for wisdom teeth. But yeah, I was expecting it to be a lot worse, because I really do not brush my teeth often, if at all. Like, we're talking maybe once a month, if you're lucky. And even that's an improvement on what it used to be for years. It was a once every few months, if I remember. Or if I can force myself not remember. Always remember. And like that first dentist appointment I had, when I decided to start taking myself back because I had pretty bad tooth pain in one of my teeth, was even then not bad. I had 6 fillings, I think, total done over the next few weeks. And none of them were like in danger. Like a danger zone of it turning really bad. So it was like, Jesus Christ, people really don't, like, it just turned to the fact that I don't need to brush my teeth as much as everyone says I do, which is a bad thing to say, because I probably do. But the results kind of speak for themselves, though. Just not too dissimilar from how I view showering, but that's more of a autistic thing I've since learnt, that autistic people and other neurodivergents just really struggle with things like showering because of its transitional nature. Which does really make sense, even if I don't fully understand it. And the way I beat that was stop trying to hold myself to the same standard everyone else did with showering. Like, I just get in and I wash away the day. I rinse it off. Because I found that's a lot easier than trying to use soap every single time I get in the shower. And I still really don't need it, because I have not once ever had someone tell me I smell bad. It's like I sweat a bit, but I don't actually smell when I sweat, apparently. Or at least not a noticeable amount. I still feel gross. Don't get me wrong. That could possibly just be more of a texture thing. What am I missing? Supposing a lot about who and what I am on here. It's probably just more of a way for me to try and talk through it with myself at this point. even though I know these are the ones that my friend will listen to the most because it's the easiest content to digest. Because they don't need to watch what's going on, it's just me cleaning things. And I talk a lot more in these as well. Speaking of, I still need to watch Frank's latest episode on E33, even though it was a month ago. Because I haven't been in the right headspace to do my usual commentary on it, and I don't want to watch it without doing the commentary, because I do enjoy doing the commentary that I give him. Which is, I just open my notes app on my phone as I watch it on my TV, and I just type out shit I'm thinking and saying about what I'm watching. Makes it feel more authentic as to what we're going for, which is playing games with your friends. At least to me. I regularly get that weird ear pop thing. When people, it can happen when you wear headphones. And it always happens in my right ear when I'm here on my computer. But it happens in my left ear like elsewhere and more rarely. And it rarely happens at all if I use my own earbuds. But I don't use those on the computer for obvious reasons. Way too uncomfortable. And no mic if I'm recording, so you know, that too. I'm now feeling really self-conscious about what I've been talking about. I gave myself too long to think about it. Still gonna upload this regardless, but I'm going to regret every second of it, I reckon. Let's try and find a different topic to talk about. I've been trying to watch... sort of a decent segue is that with the ability to watch new things, I've been trying to watch new anime, and it seems to be a little bit easier for me to do so. Not that I've found anything I really want to stick with yet, because I also seem to avoid a lot of the popular choices for reasons I really cannot put into words. Like, I just seem to avoid anything that's popular for some reason. Like, I stopped watching my Hero shortly after the Overhaul fight, I think. And I never went back to it. I stopped Black Clover when I caught up at about 150, which was just after the trial of Asta and Bird Girl. Like the initial trial, where she gets given the cape and shit. I did not watch Dragon Ball Super at all, so I was well done with Dragon Ball before that. You could not pay me to touch Boruto with a stick, because everything I've seen of it makes me go, nah, not for me. Haven't watched Freerun, despite everything pointing that it would be a great thing for me to watch, because I would enjoy almost everything about it. Like, I did watch Campfire Cooking and One Punch Man. One Punch Man because I, just enjoy the humor in it, as much as the poor animation makes me want to cry, because it deserves so much better. Like, the initial criticisms of it, I was like, you guys are just stupid. Why would they put money to animating Garou sliding down a fucking hill? But then it's kept getting worse. I'm like, well, I can't defend this. To get to the point where it's like, I was also devastated when beginning after the end got such a poor animation job. I missed that. How the fuck did I miss that? I just walked around everything. Like, I read the light novels years ago. I got to like volume 9 before I dropped it for, I think, just boredom reasons. I missed that too, really. I'm not doing well. I'm very tired anyway. But it really deserved a proper animation and just did not cut it. Like, they had every opportunity to make the next big thing. It's like, nope, we're gonna cut corners and we're gonna make it flop. I didn't watch Lord of the Mysteries because I didn't like reading it. Like, it was like the top novel on the website I used to read web novels on, and it's just, I could not get into it. I did not like the jumping between different characters. I did not like the intrigue in it. Like, I wish something like Shadow Slave got adaptation. It became the #1 web novel as it was being updated. I unfortunately had to give up on it because I think it's only on pay-to-read sites now, and I was reading on one of those free pirated sites that has since got taken down. And I now only read on a Railroad, which is still good. I like Railroad. It's just got less of a selection than pirate sites will, because the pirate sites pull from every which site. Web novel being the main one, because you know most of the ones on web novel are pay to read. No, I did miss a light too. Jeez, I really am fucking dropping the ball. No, that's all that. What is the time? 8:30. Okay. I just like to get in bed by a certain time, otherwise I tend to stay up too late. Because I have a routine I follow, and that routine involves sitting in bed and reading for usually at least half an hour to an hour. Currently I am reading about 10 to 15 different stories on Railroad. My favourite of them easily being Beware of Chicken. It is a story I do think everybody should read because the character work is some of the best I've ever read. Like, I never thought I'd be crying over farm animals. Let's just put it that way. Like, happy tears, sad tears, laughing tears, the works. Well, not so much laughing tears. I do laugh, but it's never brought me to tears. The happy and sad tears, definitely. It's also a nice subversion of the cultivation genre, because it is technically a cultivation novel. Not that you'd know half the time. good one that I enjoy thoroughly is the Primal Hunter. OPMC goes through the multiversal integration to the system. Shenanigans ensue. Where I'm currently at, he's about to fight a dragon. And yes, in this story, like most other stories, dragons are like top of the food chain. So why wouldn't they be? They're bloody dragons. There's one called I'm a Tree. I like to say what I'm a Tree. I enjoy that one somewhat. I enjoy the world building more than I enjoy the actual story that's going on. Like, I like seeing everyone react to the fact that this tree is an extremely accomplished wizard already. And the elves are unable to control it like they would other trees. Not control, but like influence is probably the better word. Excuse me. It does only get uploaded once a week though, at most, and it's like I'm not getting enough content to really keep me that enthralled by it. Like grab chickens probably 2 or 3 times a week, but I don't care so much about the schedule with that one because it's just that good. I've got 2 others I read that are once a week. Like I saw I'm a Tree, and I've never thought about dropping them because again the content's just that good that I do not want to drop it. One of them being Common Clay, and the other being Team Player, both by the same author on Railroad. One to male MC, one to female MC too, so you know, a bit of variety. Common Clay, the male MC one, has a bit more romance in it, which makes me feel like the author's probably a male. Like, the female MC one Team Player does still have some romance, but it's a lot more slow burn. Plus they already killed off the first love interest, as brief as they were. Common Clay is set in a true fantasy backdrop, where everyone gets a class at their coming of age, which is I think 13. And Clay, who had always wanted to be an adventurer in a guild, which are more like fantasy police of sorts, like 4 dungeons and stuff like that. But instead he got labourer. But he's like, nah, fuck you, I want to do it anyway. And the gods took note of that. Story ensues. Don't want to spoil too much. And Team Player is more sci-fi. Modern world where dungeon-like rifts appear. And they have to be contained, otherwise the things inside them come out and destroy the world. Sort of a la solo leveling, but less dungeony because it's more unified in that they're all the same enemy. MC is the daughter of a previous dungeon diver, which they call surveyors, who got betrayed by what should have been the governing body of surveyors, and left for dead. Well, they thought she was dead. Story ensues. Once the daughter's in her first training position, like internship, at one of these surveyor jobs, like businesses. Yeah. Let's see what else I have. I'm trying to just go off the top of my head. That ones I know enough about to talk. Penitent, which is actually really good. It's a subversion of the isekai genre, where it's not that uncommon for people to be isekai in that world, and the people in this world know about it and hate them for it. They call them takers because they take the place of what should have, someone who should have been in this world. Because every baby gets divined at birth, and that's how they know. They see a baby with a title, they're like, oh, you're someone else. And each kingdom has their own way of dealing with them. And arguably, MC is born into one of the worst, which is they're immediately taken, branded with a slave mark, given growth acceleration potions to make them top tier cannon fodder as quickly as possible, and then send them off to cannon fodder land. And I think in the his batch of kids there was close to 100. I think it's been that long since I started. I'm not too sure, but of all different ethnicities as well. Obviously, they all become whatever type of race they're born into, but they still speak their own native languages. Like one of the characters in the MC's group is an Australian. Path of Transcendence is another one I really like. It's another pure fantasy setting. It's also an isekai technically. Not that it ever really comes up anymore. I'm pretty sure he was a normal person in his before life and decided, hey, not decided, but found himself in the body of a bastard noble. He's like, ooh, I'm gonna try and train myself to get this skill that I think people have. Turns out it's a skill that nobody really has because it's nearly impossible to train, but he did it anyway. And then his noble house is betrayed from the inside, as well as other noble houses, and his uncle / adopted father, because that's what kind of happened. His true father in that world was a deadbeat. Gets smacked. Story ensues. There's a couple that I don't want to speak on because I'm pretty sure I want to drop them. Just can't seem to because the story is still compelling enough to keep me there, but the writing and all the attitude is not it. That's all I can really think of right now. Yep. Get up here. And other than that, I have just been rereading Death March to a Parallel World Rhapsody, which is a regular Japanese isekai story. He was a programmer back on Earth, fell asleep at his desk, wake up fantasy world with a couple of the cheat-like abilities he was talking about in the 2 games he was currently programming bugs out of. Like he was a bug fixer first and foremost. Not accidentally, but panically uses those and becomes the most OP person the world has ever seen, more or less. Like, one of his things is a menu, a game menu. And those are always broken in these sorts of stories. Last time I read it, I got volume 15, and that's when I caught up, and then I just stopped reading the updates. It's now up to 20 something, so I've got plenty to read, and I'm currently at 9 again. I also just finished rereading Campfire Cooking, and before Campfire Cooking I had reread and read further in The Record of 14-Year War, which is isekai, kingdom building, slight combat. There's a decent amount of combat, but it's never really the focus. But either is the kingdom building. So I kind of just gloss over a lot of the kingdom building stuff. It's like, it's hard to pin down with that sort of talk. It's good though. Also, OPMC went from strong to stronger because his grandpa was an original isekai victim. Well, not original, but one of the oldest currently living, and it's the only known one to ever make his way back to Earth. It's also been... No, I can't say that because that's a spoiler, so yeah. The grandpa one isn't too much of a spoiler because it's heavily hinted at initially. But what I was about to say would definitely be spoilers, so we'll keep that as is. Yeah, I think that's it for books right now, because... Oh yeah, my struggle with reading new things is pretty much solely to actual physical books. Like, I've got about 20 that I have not read sitting in my bookshelf. Some of them sequels, some of them brand new IPs, some of them works from authors I already know I love. And I just cannot bring myself to read them either. Like, I haven't read a physical book in years. I think the only way that's ever going to break is if Patrick Rothfuss finally decides to get off his ass and finish The Doors of Stone. But we all know that's not going to happen. Man got too rich of the first two and wrote himself into a corner. According to people, like sources of the beta readers and stuff like that. Which I don't really see, but hey. Maybe it happens in the 3rd book. Which is probably also why I struggle with writing myself, to be honest, because like, I could almost definitely see myself writing myself into a corner. Because I don't want to use the, like, magic MacGuffin to solve all my issues with my writing skills. What does that even say? struggle with reading graffiti. That's cute. Yeah. Gibby? Dibby? Dibsy? Blah, blah, blah. I do think I might call it there though, because I'm getting pretty tired. And it's nearly 9 o'clock. So, you know, I'll go do my regular nighttime stuff, which includes playing some of the word games with my mum, the New York Times ones, as well as word salad. Thanks for listening to my sad ramblings, and I'll see you guys in the next episode, I guess. Ciao.